So tonight we're going to be talking about the GH5 and why I feel that it's a fantastic investment for small businesses that are just getting started or looking for a good ecosystem that won't break the bank. So my background is that I shoot weddings and I do customer testimonials, interviews and general business promotion based on their needs. Now, for me, making sure that the footage is delivered to the client relies heavily on redundancy. So one camera or one source of audio is not going to do it. And as content creators and videographers, filmmakers, we strive for the best image quality. And sometimes audio goes out the window, but I've completely gone the other way because audio is so key to the emotion and it just elevates everything. Now, if you take in, for instance, the quality that you get with a Sony FX3, that is a fantastic camera. And that in itself, the body alone, is between 3,500 to 4,000. So we'll put the £4,000 mark up on the screen somewhere. Now, just that body alone is not going to get your business up and off the ground. There's nothing you can do with that body. You need a lens, you need microphones, you need SD cards, you need to power it. But we will just start at that base. That is the base that we will start off. So we got £4,000. Now, the GH5 body alone, you can get this for $750, which is exactly what I paid. Now, it's a fantastic camera. It's got dual SD, it's got 10-bit in 4K, and then you can shoot up to 180, I think, variable frame rate at 8-bit. But the amount of value you get for that $750 is fantastic. So it makes it a no-brainer. Now, it doesn't come with a lens, so obviously you're going to need a lens. And this is the, I think it's the prime lens. It's the Panasonic 25mm 1.7, and that will set you back at about 150. On top of that, I've got a cage that was £65, and then obviously it does dual cards, so each of those cards are 65, sorry, so that is another 130. We've got a dummy battery pack that goes in because I like to have all-day power supply, and then we've got the power core, the Anker power core. So that dummy battery was 25, and I think that was, it was 40 quid. And then we've got the BY MM1 shotgun microphone on for the camera, and there's another 30 quid. So all in all, this camera up there is 1,190. So we're already quids in compared to that £4,000 body only total. Now, because I like a dual camera setup because it suits the business, I don't like shooting weddings with just one camera. I need a minimum of 3, but for today we're just going to stick with 2 because that's great for the interviews as well. And if you're starting out with weddings, then 2 is fine. So that fetches that up then to 2,380, which leaves you with 1,619. If my maths is off, I'm really sorry. Now that we have 2 fully formed packages for the camera, let's elevate the audio. So whenever you're doing a wedding, you're going to need lavaliers, and I recommend the Tascam DR10L. Now I would get 3, and they're £170 a pop. So that fetches us up to 510 on top of what we just talked about. The microphone, the Synco Mic D2, which is my shotgun microphone, this is going into the X5, which is a phantom power supply, and then that is going into then the DR10X, which is a same as the DR10L, but it allows you to plug into XLR adapters, which is fantastic because it means that this then is very lightweight. There are no cables, and I can boom this overhead with minimal fuss. It's fantastic. I love it. Now, for the DR10Ls, the DR10X, the microphone and everything, we're talking about another £940. So that means you've got a full package. But then you've got to be thinking, well, I don't have any light stands. Well, here's the great thing. By doing it this way, that £4,000, you now have 6,700, no, £679 left. See, it's all in the phone and I didn't read it properly. But that leaves us with nearly £680 for tripods and light stands. So you can have a complete kit for what the FX3 body only is. And that is all that you will need. I mean, that doesn't take into account V&D filters, which you're going to need, but you can get those relatively cheap. And as long as you're not going to be going mental and spending over like £200 per bloody filter, then you should be fine. You should find a decent one between 50 and 80 quid. If you value your image quality, I've used the Nisi one. I think I paid, I'll have to check up. I'll put it on screen. I'm not going to say because I've got a memory of a goldfish and it's probably something completely different to what I'm thinking, but I'll put it on screen. So you take that into account, and you can get light stands for relatively cheap, and you can get heavy duty light stands for 70 quid. So there are ways and means to do it, and you can get a tripod for £100. So you can do it. There's no reason why you can't have a complete setup for nearly £4,000, which is just the body of the FX3. Now, this is not me crapping on the FX3. It's a fantastic camera and I would love to own one, but then I got to take into account business sense. This package that I described will allow me to make considerable more money from the start than that FX3, and that is something that you need to consider for yourself. You need to take away what your heart wants and then start thinking with your head, am I going to be making money with this equipment? How am I going to make sure that the customer's investment is secure? So you need multiple parts of everything. So the takeaway is that don't buy the camera you can afford once. Buy the camera you can afford 3 times. Buy 2 of them, spend the rest of the money elsewhere on the supporting gear. And that is it. I love the GH5. It's still a fantastic camera. And is it great in 2022? Christ, yes. This is going to be fine for a couple of years because we get too hung up on all the numbers. And at the end of the day, what matters is audio, good lighting, if you can afford it, because we haven't even talked about lighting. But with the 679 that we've got left, you could potentially get a good piece of lighting in for 150 quid, thereabouts, and then tripods. So there's ways and means to work it, but the money that you will be spending is significantly less than if you were to do this with an FX3 and get 2 or 3 of those and then get lenses and then the SD cards. So just think about your investment, where the money may be better spent. And this is why I think the GH5 is a good platform to start with and to grow with and to really get your business going. So if you like this content, please give me the thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.